Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here, and welcome to your reading. These are our general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your storyline on this reading, check your other major placements. And I've also been posting the pictures of the spreads at the end of the reading for those of you that like to follow along or check my work or whatever. Although my work's, a lot of it's very intuitive. Uh-oh. Nope, that's too much. Anything else? We've got a couple here. Oh no, what did I do? What Pandora's box have I opened? I'm sorry, I can't take that many. This is like, take what you've got or stop. Okay, well, we'll see. Can you just give me one or two more? That's it. I don't want to be here forever. I mean, I do want to be here forever. I love doing these readings. They feel very good to me. I enjoy that kind of thing. But we do have limits to our patience and our attention spans. So we can't just read the whole deck. All right, so we have the Art of Seduction. So we have, this is not a great card in my opinion. We have mismatched intentions. This is a card where one party would like a very sincere, deeply connected connection, and the other party is just goofing around and playing around and not ready for a commitment. Neither party is wrong. They're just at where they're at in their lives and on their paths. One party is ready or feels very ready to make a commitment, to become close to someone. I want to say closely embroiled with somebody else's life and issues and ready to do that. And another person in this situation would like to remain footloose, fancy-free, isn't very serious. This can be work. This can be, you know, maybe your employer is looking for someone long-term who really wants to invest their life in the company. And you're like, no, man, I'm just here for a couple paychecks, or vice versa, you know, or it could be relationships. But this is just referring to something in your life where there's mismatched expectations. And the only problem that really arises with these two is communication issues. You know, like this, just talk about it. Talk what your expectations are. You may not know what your expectations are and what you want out of the situation. I want to say that nobody here is wrong, even though sometimes we can put a lot of pressure on people that aren't ready for relationships, that they should be ready for a relationship. It should be like this. It's just reality. People aren't ready for something. So there's a mismatched intentions here, probably needing some communication, some clearer communication. And probably one or both parties will be disappointed because that's what it is. They can't see. They're not on the same page. So it's always very disappointing when someone's not on the same page as you. No matter which page you're on, if you're on the introductory pages, or if you're on like chapter 52 here and that's the page you like, you know, like if you're not on the same page, everybody's disappointed to not be on the same page with somebody else. Unless you're like a user and an asshole, but I'm hopeful that that's not the majority of people watching this. So, and then we have Rose Garden. This is about boundaries, about protecting yourself, about having good boundaries, because you have something here precious. It could be yourself blooming. It could be a plan. It could be an idea. It could be, especially this, like, you know, if you're this person that's just not ready to settle down, it's very important to have good boundaries, because people that are ready to settle down tend to, I don't want to categorize them, but either side of this party can be very self-righteous in what they think and what they think they deserve and what they think you owe them, right? So this is just having really good boundaries, sussing out like whether you are on the same page with someone or not. And remember, we're just consulting the tarot as a way to open our minds or view possible ways that a situation can go and be. And my hair is suddenly driving me crazy here. So, but my hair often drives me crazy. It's not suddenly, it's just became intolerable suddenly. Anyway, this can be about like the way you talk, speaking up about something, that you want, and defending yourself, and defending what you want, defending what you're growing, defending the growth that you're entitled to experience at your own pace, and be that fast or slow, and just having a good boundary. So a garden is about ground that is guarded with a wall. So that we can grow the things that are precious to us and grow the sustenance and bring these things. So it could be you personally and the thing you're growing, but it could just be also something that's valuable to you in your life, something that you're striving for and dealing with, and just needing to have some good boundaries about it. And then we have a long way home. So this is referencing having already made a commitment to do something, having already upped anchor here and being ready to go, but needing to wait for further instruction, needing to wait for Spirit to guide you. You're on a long trip. You've begun a very long journey. A big story arc has been announced in our little novel here, our little dramatic series of our lives. A big new story arc has just been announced, and you are up and you're off and you're ready to go, and you have a little companion here. You're kind of going to be moving in tandem and parallel with each other, but maybe not directly connected with each other, but you are both going to be going, and when this wind comes, you are both going to be going in the same direction. So maybe just some communication needs to be sorted out. There's two cards here referencing companionship. One has you sort of distant but kind of in sync with each other, and the other has you very much not in sync with each other, yet close but not in sync. All right, and some part of this, I mean, this is going to need good boundaries, clear boundaries, clearly communicated boundaries, and that's what I'm seeing here. Clearly communicate boundaries. Oh, no. Okay, well, fine. So we've gotten some bonus cards here for us. You have 9 of Cups, wanting to win or winning, emotional fulfillment, maybe financial since it popped out here, but emotional fulfillment, feeling like you've won. These are all your little trophies of all your little, all the things that you were able to manifest and bring to fruition in your life. And then we have the King of Wands here. This is a person, probably a real actual person that you're experiencing right now. Very intuitive. They've got very intuitive, very, where are those words? Very charismatic, interesting, well-traveled, life of the party type person, and maybe sometimes a little impulsive, but only in a good way, because he's a king. He knows how to work with his intuition and occasional impulsivity and that kind of thing. He knows how to work with it, knows how to deal with it. And then we have the well, returning to a source of renewal, with your eye to the future, with your eye to the horizon. But first we're going to make sure our own cups are filled, make sure that we have been renewed and refreshed and rejuvenated and ready to head back out there, maybe on this journey. Maybe this king is the one that's not very sincere in this one. Although, you know, he's highly intuitive, but I'm not sure, he's not the solid one. Like we've got someone very looking to really ground and pitch a tent and set a foundation down. And then we have someone here wanting to set a foundation down, and somebody here that just wants to pitch a tent for a while and go camping. So, yeah, so I'd say the tent pitcher is probably the King of Wands here. And of course, gender doesn't matter. Okay, now I'm going to try not to get any more extras. All right, Cancer, this is your past. Woo! Taurus just got this. Your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Well, well, well. Cancer, what is going on? In your recent past, you've been dealing with changes of fortune. Something's changed, something's turned. It's almost like a lock, a padlock or something, you know, lock has been dialed in, and something's opening up. There's a sense of, this wheel of fortune, this things outside of your control have changed. I mean, it's about luck. It's about where it's about luck. And sometimes we're lucky, sometimes we're not lucky. So it's a little smaller scale than the world card, where everything around us, the whole seasons are changing, the whole world is changing. This is more about just our world is changing. Our things are becoming unlocked or locked. It has to do with personal issues, your personal life. And it could be things outside of your control in your personal life, whereas the world card is things outside of your control in like the whole big thing. This is outside of your control and like a smaller, more contained scale just around your life. Not that things are out of control, but just there's something that you're not in charge of, which could be other people's expectations here, that you're not in charge of that. And you're also not in charge of this either, like where you're going, how fast you get there, any of that. You're not in charge, you're not in full control of that. There's some sort of element of luck or unknown element that's at play here and has been at play. In your current situation, you've got conflict, lots of conflict, open conflict perhaps. People, this can be like teen boys just kind of playing like puppies, and I'm not a dog owner, so it always scares the shit out of me when dogs play. Just like, what is that? That looks like they're eating each other. And I just stay out of it and keep my mouth shut because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to dogs. So it's not that I don't like them. I love them and they love me. I'm just not an expert in reading their behavioral cues when they're together with other dogs. That's the part that I don't understand what's going on there. I could understand if I wanted to put the effort into it. 5 of Wands here, so conflict. There's some conflicts in your life, maybe conflicting expectations. You're definitely needing to put up some boundaries here and to say what you want and to speak your boundaries and to talk very clearly about your boundaries, because there's just kind of a melee going on here of conflicts and could be conflicting schedules, I want to say, conflicting expectations, all sorts of things that you kind of need to be battling. And as a conflict avoider, I do understand the purpose and point of conflict and that it is important to engage in it at some points. Not all the time, hopefully. We have other skills and other tools in our toolbox. But sometimes open conflict does need to be engaged in. And it does need to be clear, it does need to be open, and it usually involves someone setting up some boundaries. In your inner landscape, what you're hoping for, there's this happiness here, this happy like a child, imaginative, free-flowing imagination, free-flowing communication, which is not what this is. This is some anxious communications, and this is based in insecurity and a need to prove something. And this is like pleasant, loving communications. This is what you and most normal people want, is this pleasant, loving communication. And this can also reference someone from your past and connecting with them and communicating with them. And that's what you'd like. You'd like to connect or return to a more childlike state, happier memories, happier days. Happier memories are definitely on your mind right now. And returning to a more innocent way of communicating and imagining your own world and your own life, and returning to some sort of connection. It could be connection with siblings, could be connection to a good friend from your childhood. You might be hoping for that, hoping for a pleasanter time, because this is not a pleasant time. This is not pleasant communication and connection. This is pleasant communication and connection, and you'd like that. You'd like to return to those happier days. Oh my goodness, this is interesting how well this is working and flowing here. In your what's at issue here is this Three of Cups, and we have it in reversed. So in the upright, it's friends joining together, singing together, very soulful, emotional connection, connecting our hearts, and connecting together and with the universe together. This is what the choir, friends hanging out, and this is not friends. Not hanging out with friends, not feeling connected, not feeling heard, not feeling like you are in the flow with people that love you, and not feeling close. No wonder you want this. You want to feel close. You want to feel this close, deep connection, this playful connection with someone the way you did when you were a child, and that's just not happening. There's not any sort of friendship sharing or something. You know, if this is coronavirus related, you might have isolated yourself a little bit too much. So that sharing isn't happening, and that's what's at issue. Is you'd like more sharing, you'd like more communion and companionship, and friendship and time with your friends, but it's just not happening in your environment, though. So why isn't this happening? Because in your environment, we've got Two of Cups. We've got a soulmate or a kindred spirit, a deep sharing of the heart space going on in your environment, around you. People around you might be in love, might be meeting their soulmates, and might be excited, and you want this. And this is what's on your mind too. Why not for you? But you just seem to be embroiled in conflict. Maybe not your fault, because I'm a conflict avoider, and when I'm in conflict, you can bet I did my best to avoid that situation, and now I don't know what to do with it. So, but you are in conflict. You do not want to be in conflict. You want to be hanging out with your friends in peace and harmony and joy. And other people seem to be getting this. Someone around you seems to be in love and seems to be connecting and sharing, a deep sharing, a guided connection. And then you got this imbalance here. These are opposites, but they're balancing each other out, and they're sharing. You know, they're able to communicate despite being opposites. Here's your to-do list. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Here's your to-do list. Temperance, bringing these two extremes together into balance. We're not balancing them like this. Well, first we are. First we're like, whoa, this is crazy. And then as we go flinging from side to side, then we sort of start. Okay, now we can live like this. We can live on this plane. This was too many extremes. So you're bringing these sort of extremes into something more livable. You're bringing the desert and the humid, dripping, wet jungle, and you're bringing them together for this nice like climate right in between, just enough of little. So she's my bartender, and she's mixing those drinks and this completely undrinkable thing with this completely undrinkable thing, and we get them mixing together, and once we get them really nicely mixed and combined, they're drinkable now. It's delicious now. Yeah, so there's something about what your job here is to bring in these opposites, bring in these extremes. And look at these cups. Like here we have these cups, the Six of Cups. And here we have the Two of Cups. And here she's combining these Two of Cups and bringing them into peace and harmony. And you know what it could be? It could be that this isn't a lost cause relationship. It could be, which I tend to think of it as, is like two people, two very different expectations. But this could be like they just need to talk and communicate about something and come to some sort of, I don't usually see middle ground in this card. I usually see, you know, I want this, and there's not a lot of middle ground. But here you are, you're finding the happy middle ground between these warring factions. You're embroiled in some sort of thing where people have dug their heels in and have a bunch to prove. You'd like this deep innocent connection that you remember from being a child. You're not getting it. It's around you. Something's around you. The cups are there. The cups are there around you. You've just got to start mixing and bringing them all together. You know, boundaries and expectations and all of that. It looks like you're going to be mixing that all up and bringing it into some sort of much more harmony. You're going to be creating harmony out of this. And then where you go is justice, someplace fair. You're going to be, the situation will become fair, will become balanced, because that's what you're going to do. You're in your action. This is an action shot, and of somebody bringing things into balance. It's a long process, bringing them into balance, though. And then where you're headed is this fairness, this justice, this clarity, and this even fair treatment of everybody involved. So my goodness, if you can pull this off, let me know, because I typically read this card as like just different expectations, move on. But if these two people can come to this compromise where everything's fair and balanced, that's pretty cool, where everybody's getting what they want, because I usually see a no-win situation here, but this is telling me it could become a win-win situation with both parties getting what they need, or whoever's been the worst communicator here gets some comeuppance and some justice coming in. But you don't forget your boundaries in this whole process. Yeah, you want this, but you need to remember to keep your boundaries, and you're in it for the long haul. There's something here that maybe you're already committed to this person. Maybe you guys already have some sort of bond that you're not willing to break, and you're already committed. Maybe you need to take a break and take some distance from each other. Or maybe you're just going to be in it for the long haul. So maybe you can't expect these expectations to be like exactly together, exactly the same. But we do have this like emotional fulfillment here card showing up, as well as this one, this renewal card. I feel like there's a little bit of a temperance vibe here. We have this flowy stuff going on here, and they're actually both looking the same direction too. So, all right, Cancer, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. I really do appreciate them. Love hearing from you guys. And so I hope you have a wonderful week.